Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're pretty excited. We're going to be doing something that I love, of course, carbon fiber, but as well as a very cool car. Customer sent this in to us and we're doing a lot of the interior pieces for a Nissan Skyline GTR. So we're pretty pumped about that. So we thought you guys might like to see how everything looks after it's all finished and done. And of course, the whole interior for the GTR. So of course, they sent us the pieces, so we may not get after photos of them like as soon as possible, but of course if we do, we'll definitely post them in the video, so then that way you guys can see the end result. But as usual, we'll definitely show you guys how everything came out after it's all said and done, because we know that you guys love that. So we're pretty excited about it, so let's get started. So we've got the interior pieces off of the GTR. Here are some photos that we've got of just kind of it and what it looks like right now. And so these photos are really great because they tell me which way that I need to take all of the carbon fiber and make sure that it's all running correctly. And so whenever we have a job like this where we have we have all of these interior pieces right around the door switches. We have all of his speaker grills. We have a lot of these interior pieces right in here. So whenever these doors shut and whenever you're looking at these seal plates and all of this center console and everything like that, to do it the right way and to make sure that everything looks professional, it's all going to be going the same way. Because I know we've said it in a lot of the other videos, and I'm going to say it again, carbon looks great whenever it's the only piece that's done. But if you have multiple pieces all in the same general area and they're all going every which way, it's not going to look professional, it's not going to look good. And especially on a car like this, even if it was a Honda, it doesn't matter. It all has to go the same direction or all being uniform. And so definitely want to make sure that you nail that and you spend the time, you take the time to lay it all out, so then that way everything matches up 100% and it's as close as possible to all going in one single direction. So a lot of work on my end as far as making sure that everything is all going the right direction, but at the end result, whenever you look at it in the car, it all looks beautiful, and that's exactly what we want. So we'll kind of show you a couple of these pieces that we're going to be dipping, show you a little bit of the technique of what we're going to be doing, and then of course show you guys the end result after we get them all finished. And then there we go. All right, so we've got a couple of pieces like this right here. So of course this one right here is fully assembled. This is actually a 3-piece window switch piece. So you have this one right here, you have this piece right here, and then of course you have a trim piece that goes all along the side of it. And so what we ended up doing is instead of trying to do this all in 3 different pieces, we painted them separately, but we're actually going to be dipping them all together. So then that way, as this film wraps up and around, it all matches 100%. So then that way you get the least amount of angle difference between one dip to the other. So then that way everything looks 100% the way that it needs to. So if you can, this is always a really good idea. And so of course, because we have our pictures here, we're going to take and make sure that we line everything up and get it all exactly perfect. And so you can see here, I've got another piece that I've got just these 2 pieces in right here. And then of course we have the other piece that we're going to just snap in like this right here. So we'll make sure that we line up these tabs and then get these all snapped into place. So then that way everything lines up, and of course, like we all want it to look as professional as possible. So that way, whenever the carbon wraps around this entire piece, it all looks uniform and it all looks symmetrical, exactly the way that the customer needs to have it in any car, no matter if it's a GTR or a Nissan or a Honda or anything in between. You got to make sure it looks good. So let's go ahead. I'm going to lay this out We're gonna lay out all these pieces here. Of course, we got center consoles. We've got all of the dash trim and everything like that. We're gonna lay it all out, and then we're gonna start marking it. And then that way we know whenever we're going down into the film, we know exactly which way that it needs to go. So that way everything is lined up 100%. So let's get started. Okay, so that took way longer than expected, but we've got everything lined out, as y'all probably saw in the quick little time lapse. That took a while. I don't know exactly how long, but definitely took a long time to mainly figure out where everything goes, how it sits, looking at the photos, looking it up online, making sure that everything is lined up whenever it all sets in the car, with everything set exactly the way that it will in the car. And of course, trying to make sure that, you know, different pieces are all lined up exactly the way that they need to be whenever they're all snapped together. So definitely want to take your time and make sure that you account for all the time and prep work that it's going to take to do a job like this. So now that we have this, now the quick and easy and the fun part for you guys comes in to where we're going to be going ahead and dipping all these. So we may not show you every single dip on these, but of course we're going to take all the tape, swap it to the back side of the parts. I'm sure you've seen in all the other videos. So pretty much very simple, very easy. Now that I know which way every piece sets, I can look at this right here and then transfer this back to that. So then that way this piece matches the line on that piece. And so once we have that, now that's going to be a nice visual indication on whenever I'm going down into the water, I need to turn my piece whichever way possible to get my lines going that way, because that way it goes in the direction that I need it, that I've already marked on here. So of course we took off the tape for this because of course we don't want the tape to block the dip. But other than that, we've got that on the back, and then we're gonna do this to all of these right here. And then we can take all of these and then set them all back on the table over here, lay out our film, and get started. So here we go. All right, so we finally got all of that taped off and then moved to the back of them, so that way we have everything all lined up just like this on every one of these. So then that way, took the tape off the front, just like what we was saying, move them to the back, and of course now we have all of them set and ready to go. So let's go ahead, we'll grab our film, and so of course this is going to be our standard carbon fiber. This is the CF282, which is a black and clear. And then of course we have all of the parts already prepped out, already painted. Now these are a little bit different, mainly because whenever we had these come in, they already had a texture on them. So we've actually already taken the texture completely out of it. A lot of them have that really tall grain in it, make it look like a leather or something like that. So we've actually taken out all of that texture, smoothed it out, sanded it out, and then of course painted it in the charcoal metallic gray. And then of course we're going to be dipping it in the 282. So we can start laying out our parts and getting these ready to go. Of course, as with all of them,
glass door.
All right, so of course with all of them, we're going to make sure that we have plenty of room all the way around the carbon, so that way we don't have any problems in if there's something on a corner or an edge, or we get water on the film, we still have plenty of room to move this part around the film, so then that way we can go ahead and still get a good dip. So now that we've got this first one cut, let's go ahead, let's lay it in the water and get started with dipping. So we'll set this on the water, go ahead and start our timer, and then of course we're going to be setting this for 1 minute at 80 to 90 degrees on the water. So we'll pull our dividers a little bit tighter, so that way everything stays as tight as possible and we don't get any stretch on the carbon itself. So now that we've got everything set the way that we want it, we can go ahead. We've got about 20 seconds left here, and so we'll grab some gloves on and then get ready to spray the activator. All right, so of course we've sprayed it with a Liquid Concepts activator, and so now we're gonna let this thing dwell just a little bit to glass out smooth, which is exactly what we want. And then once it glasses out, we'll grab the part, dip it, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, so we've got really good glass, which is exactly what we want. We'll line up our carbon the way that we need to. And there's the first piece. So we're gonna go ahead, get all that together. And it's nice because we have our visual indicator right here, and then we have exactly how it's going right there, which is exactly what we want. So now all we gotta do is do all the other pieces and we'll be done. All right, guys, so we got everything all finished up and it looks amazing. So of course, this is not all of the pieces that we have done on the GTR, but you will definitely see that here in just a little bit in the outro. But just to kind of give you guys a quick little overview, everything came out looking amazing. So of course, we've got a beautiful high gloss finish around all of these pieces. And of course, some of them go together with other pieces to make everything match. But of course, we've got door seals and we've got the steering column covers. And then we've got, of course, all of the speaker covers and then the tweeter covers right here. And of course, our personal favorites, we have, which actually will sit like this. I'm sorry. Nope. There we go. Perfect. Which will actually sit like this. So you have, of course, your paddle shifters. Of course, we chose to do these in a red candy carbon fiber. These came out looking amazing, of course, with the customer's approval. Just to kind of mix it up, he does have a couple of little red accent pieces. So with having those in the red candy carbon fiber, it's definitely going to set that off and make it look definitely one of a kind. So also, if you're looking for training or any type of application advice, or of course materials, paints, primers, clear coats, anything like that that we've used on any of these pieces right here, definitely check out our website. It's a great resource to see everything that we offer, as well as, of course, looking at the training and the equipment to do this yourself. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.